Hello everybody, it's Jason Artiga and this is another episode of Cinema Macabro YouTube channel. Now, I've been on hiatus for quite a while, maybe like 2 or 3 months, and I had some good things happen and some bad things. I was actually in the middle of doing like an Alien ripoff, another Alien ripoff review, Galaxy of Terror, which I'm actually going to do. And I decided to check on my mom and go to her house, and I fell asleep and I woke up coughing and choking, and find out I was in the middle of a really bad fire.
What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot! Fuck, we're all dead!
I got my mother off her room. She didn't suffer that much, but I took the brunt of it and got really bad smoke inhalation. Now, during this time, I just started thinking, you know what? When I get my affairs in order and make sure my mom's okay, I'm going to do a Cinema Macabro Seattle tour. And lo and behold, my girlfriend's originally from Seattle, so we decided to go. And let me tell you, we did so many things that tie into this channel with cult films and horror and sci-fi. You're going to see in a moment. Now, the flight was pretty good. 5 hours on a JetBlue flight. I was pretty much sleeping all that time, and once I touched down, it was a little too late to do anything. The Seattle Game Expo already finished. So the next day, we decided to go to Tweed's Cafe. And Tweed's Cafe, to those who don't know, is the cafe that was in Twin Peaks. And I'm a huge Twin Peaks fan, so we went over there, and we were like in Washington State, away from Seattle, down, from the city, and we just went to this really nice town. The diner, the food was good. There was nobody there, so I took advantage and I took some pictures, and it was amazing. It had all this Twin Peaks memorabilia. And the staff was really nice over there, and they gave us some souvenirs, and the pie and coffee was awesome. So if you're around there, go to Tweed's Cafe, because it's pretty much a heaven for David Lynch and Twin Peaks fans.
Now, the next shot coming up, you recognize from the opening of Twin Peaks, Squanime Falls in Washington State. Very beautiful place, and I had to get this waterfall that sets up the opening of Twin Peaks with the Angelo Badalamenti score. Beautiful place in Washington.
Now, the next place, my girlfriend literally planned a lot of the things we were going to do in Seattle, and she did a lot of research, and she found out that the Mopop museum that's in downtown Seattle had a horror exhibition, a horror, sci-fi, and fantasy exhibition. So we went, and what I thought was going to be 1 hour of walking around a museum turned out to be 4 hours. They had so many things. Check this out.
Now, of course, we started with the horror exhibition, and it was really spooky going down those stairs. Once we hit the title card, we knew that this was going to be a kick-ass exhibition. They said it was PG-13, but it felt far from it. When we first started, we had to go through this aisle of bodies, and they were weighted, and it was just so creepy. I mean, like, you could see my face. I was getting creeped out. I felt like I was in that game Manhunter. And I love the decor, and over here you see Jason from the last Jason film, the 2009 reboot. Michael Myers from Rob Zombie's Halloween, the villain from Galaxy Quest, the egg from Alien in the original concept drawing by Dan O'Bannon. And then we had this cathedral of the history of the vampire, and it was amazing. They had each stained glass to tell you about the myth of the vampire, with a bust of Bram Stoker in the middle. And each one of these were handcrafted, and it was just beautiful and creepy. And the bust just led to that. It was like this small cathedral. Right here you see the xenomorph from the original Alien. It's one of the suits that was in there. This is part of the Paul Allen collection. The TV from Videodrome, one of my favorite David Cronenberg films. The control panel from Frankenstein, the original Frankenstein movie. the Daywalker's costume from Blade. I mean, this is what Wesley Snipes wore. The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. I almost mixed that up. Now the heads from the original Walking Dead episode with the governor, where like his personal fish tank of heads, the Necromonicon from Evil Dead, which was awesome just to see. Props from Jaws. The Blair Witch, of course, including the camera. Another Rob Zombie's Halloween Tyler Mane costume. And one of my favorite props at this exhibition, the original axe from The Shining. Freddy Krueger's costume from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. One of the critters, or the Krites. And then we had a break in between. We had this really good meal. And here goes Room. And this scene from Friday the 13th was amazing. Betsy Palmer's head when she Pamela Voorhees when she gets her head chopped off. Now you can see the flamethrower from Alien, the Narcissist from Alien, Corporal Hicks's uniform from Aliens, Corbin Dallas's pistol from The Fifth Element, along with his costume and Lilu's costume, the proton pack from Ghostbusters. Like, I was getting surreally overwhelmed by this exhibition. The hoverboards from Back to the Future 2, I thought those were cool. The aesthetic was amazing when you see it up close. Some of the guns and ships from Dune. Again, I'm a David Lynch fan, and you know, and here goes the villain again from Galaxy Quest. We got the T-800 endoskeleton. And multiple guns from different kinds of movies. You can see some are from Men in Black, some are from Starship Troopers. The list goes on and on. I could name all of these in an episode, but I can't. Oh, the sword from Conan. And Mark and Mindy. I mean, this is the scale of the exhibition at the Mopop for the science fiction, just alone the science fiction. It was huge, it was well done, and the display cases were amazing because they had the science fiction motif, and it was done well. As you see, the Gort from The Day There Stood Still, one of the Daleks, original Daleks from the BBC Doctor Who show from the 70s. I think this was an unused prop from Starship Troopers 2001, a scale ship that was used. And then when we go to the fantasy, we see like the original letters from J.R. Tolkien, the dress that Dorothy wore in Wizard of Oz, one of the helmets from the Monty Python movie and the Holy Grail, the apple from one of the Disney movies. It's Snow White, but it's like three of them. The Princess Bride, the rapier and like the two rapiers used in the movie. The mask from one of the Harry Potter movies. We decided to go to the Seattle Underground Tour. Now, to all those who don't know about the Underground Tour, it's pretty cool because they take you to all these basements that were down a certain level, because Seattle at one time was like pretty much really low where the seawater can like come in, and there were areas during the 1800s and early 1900s where they had all these bars and prostitution areas and like brothels. So they took us on what's called a horror tour, and what I like about this tour was one of my favorite horror films that's pretty much underrated was shot here. Kolchak the Night Strangler, the sequel to the 1972 Night Stalker with Darren McGavin.
Raised in the tide table. Hey, watch your step. Let's go this way.
It was like another world down there, a world of yesterday. Sidewalks and storefronts just as they'd been left after the fire in 1889. Windows built to admit the light, admitting only darkness now. Ground floors of office buildings, now the unused cellars of those buildings. The tomb of old Seattle just beneath the living streets of what Seattle is today.
And we saw the same sights that are in the movie, but during the tour we did the same thing, which was stray away from the rest of the tourists and take some pictures. And while I was out there, I had a pretty spooky occurrence over there.
Now the presence, later on at the end of the tour, I told the guide I felt something, and she showed me a picture of a ghost that was taken 2 weeks prior in the same area, which was pretty spooky and really had me at edge. Some of the movie props from the Night Strangler are in here, and you could see like the telephone booth and couch.
Now my girlfriend did all the research, and she told me about a video store she used to go to when she was in high school called Scarecrow Video. And Scarecrow Video is an amazing rental place. They sell DVDs, they rent DVDs, they actually have, I think, VHSs over there. Have lots of memorabilia, but what I like is their selection. Scarecrow Video is a pretty big place. Think of it like the old Kim's Video that used to be on St. Mark's Place in New York City, but a lot nicer. You know, the staff are nicer. Nobody's really a douche. You know, you don't have to worry about like the loss prevention, security following you around everywhere you go or screaming at you if you had a bag. This place was a really lax atmosphere, and it was like almost a labyrinth of all the films that they had. Just check this out.
I mean, I was overwhelmed by the amount of movies they had in here, and it was huge, like really huge. I think they had a cafe built in to it, and it felt like being like in an old record store, but with videos. And you know, I've seen rental places, but not like this. You could see that the genres, there was like multiple genres within genres. So like horror would have like 5 different genres of like zombies, vampires, stalker movies. And it was pretty cool because it's just like they had the decor for the horror section, and their sci-fi section was amazing too. So you can see it's divided into zombies, vampires, stalkers. You know, that's some Lifetime movie shit right there. The hardest part of Seattle was actually leaving, and on the last day, me and my girlfriend saw the sun go down, and it was just pretty romantic. I would love to live here, and I gotta say.
So guys, if you like this video, please leave a like down below. If you have any comments or any suggestions where I should go for another Cinema Macabro tour, or if you have any comments about the Seattle tour, or any suggestions for the future of this channel, please leave them down below, and I'll see you guys at the next episode. And don't forget to subscribe. Take care.